Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about when we open up our third eye. And just kind of my experience when I first opened it up and how it's kind of changed after watching a very inspirational video. But first I just kind of want to go through my experience with having my third eye first opened up. So I knew opening up my third eye was going to be a great experience for me, considering it was already partially opened. I came into this world knowing that something wasn't right. I didn't understand it, but it took me a while for me to evolve and me to understand it myself. And now that I understand it fully, I can go back and look back at kind of what I didn't do that you guys can do to further your progression on your spiritual journey. So when I first opened my eyes, my third eye, I had been given the tools by my spiritual mom. She's my mentor, and she will always hold a place in my heart. I still talk to her today. I was actually talking to her on the phone earlier, but she had given me a bunch of tools, and since I was still new to the spiritual awakening, I chose not to believe everything she was saying. Now, let me explain to you just kind of how this all went down. I went to rehab when my third eye had first started opening. And while I was in rehab, they wanted us to have our spiritual experience and kind of get to know our spirituality more. But they also wanted to put limits on it. So it was a good place for me to grow spiritually, but at the same time, there was limits put on it because they didn't let us fully awaken and fully understand the tools and technologies that there are for spirituality and everything. There were certain things I was not allowed to use as a part of my spiritual practice, and I kind of turned my nose away to them because I felt as if they're not supposed to be used here, why should they be used anywhere when we all have to make that choice? So a part of opening my third eye, I was not filling my energy every day. I was not meditating. And, I would meditate at night, I would meditate in the morning, but I kind of made it more of a thing I had to do. It was something I had to do for my spirituality instead of something I wanted to do. You got to understand, when you first open your third eye, you're going to just want to experience. Because that's all I wanted to do. I understand where you're coming from. And if you're not ready to hear some of what I have to say about the negative things of just experiencing things for what they are, because it did bring negativity my way. But because that growth lesson was put in place, because it wasn't negative, it was a growth lesson for me to go through so I can share with you guys. While yes, you can contact other beings, other physical realities, you can contact whatever your special spiritual gifts are, you're able to reach out and use them. There's also the lower vibrational beings that are going to try to come in and suck at your energy. And that happened to me while I was in rehab. And yes, I'm going to say, while I was in rehab, everything that happened was meant to happen. So I'm just going to kind of move forward to when I got out of rehab. Because when I was in rehab, that was a safe place. That was not a place where I had to continuously, you know, keep my energy safe, because where I was already a safe and secure place. I felt safe and secure for a bit, but at the same time, I wanted to leave and get out and just experience my abilities for what they were, whether I was ready for it or not. I was clearly not ready for my experiences, because right as I got out of rehab, I moved in with a new roommate, and my spiritual mom helped me move in. That roommate had a lot to work on. And something I didn't understand as being an empath myself is that I can draw in people who aren't able to benefit me but need my benefits. And I didn't know how to protect my energy, so moving in with him at the time was not a good idea. But it all happened so that I could understand that a lot of the emotions I was feeling in that living situation was not my emotions. It was all a part of my spiritual awakening. When I was in that apartment, all I was upset. All I wanted to do was fight. My roommate, he had a lot of issues going on with himself. But because of the issues he was experiencing, they were rubbing off on me, and I was not collecting in my whole energy like I was supposed to. Something I kind of needed to say, just I'm using my empath abilities to kind of explain this situation, because there are going to be multiple situations that go forward from here that I can kind of like use to explain to you how everything, like beings on our own 3D dimension, they can have their effect on us if we're empaths. But then there's beings on a higher dimension that they can have the effect on us, but they also get to, there's certain manipulation that can go on that can manipulate us to use our powers for positive or negative. And with the experiences we receive, we don't always let work in the best way. But we get to make that choice. We get to say every day, I am full of love and light, and nothing else is allowed in my vortex. Nothing else is allowed in my energy field. So, kind of, I just want to put this out there for you guys. Like, my experience has been like, if I don't work on my own energy field and only allow positive and divine light in my field, and if I don't affirm that to myself, then I'm gonna be brought down a path again where I'm just experiencing negative after negative after negative. Which, yes, I can learn from all that negative, because in the upswing, it helps me. It helps me to be creative. It helps me to be functional. And it helps me to understand that without that, there would be no progression in life. So for me, that was something good. I don't want the people that are watching this video to have to go through the same thing I went through, though. So because of me not being able to protect my energy in my roommate's apartment, I moved out into another roommate-ish, but he was younger, and he kind of understood my spirituality a little bit more. He was Wiccan, but he also did not have the highest intentions for himself, nor for me. So as a light worker, that was a place I had to be so that I could kind of understand that there are people who are going to purposely be trying to take you away on your life journey. take you off your life path and just try to make you focus on the party, the glam of life, when there is so much more to life than just that party and glam. We don't want the smoke screens, we want the experience of what this life has to offer. And what opening our 3D, like opening our glands and opening our third eye, it can bring great positivity. So I was once again manipulated because I was not choosing to fill up my whole space. I want to put this out there. I went through this experience myself so I can share it with you. It's not to scare you guys away or turn you off from using your abilities for positive, because you get to make that choice. I just want you guys to be aware of what I had to go through, even though I was aware of what could happen if I didn't, because I made the choice not to continuously fill my energy and be in my energy, be in myself, and be happy with myself and be one with myself. Because I chose not to do that, I had to go through a lot of these experiences, which weren't a good thing, but because they weren't a good thing at the time, but looking back on them, they were a good thing, so I could explain this to you guys. Well, a month or two went by of me living with that roommate in his house. And I moved in with another roommate who ended up being my boyfriend for a month. And that was just not a good relationship. It was toxic in both ways, because my frequency had started to come down from when I had first originally opened up my third eye. I still knew that my spirituality was meant, like everything was happening the way it's meant to. But at the same time, it's like I was going through this transformation of being at my highest potential at that time, because I had to come back down and go through a whole new scoop of what life would be like without my highest potential. I had to be brought back down through that sway of life, um, as a result of me not protecting myself the way I should have, not filling up my energy, not using my energy, and being whole, and only allowing divine light and love into my energy. So I was with this relationship for a month. Eventually, I just knew, like, the first two experiences were to kind of scare me out of not using my abilities anymore. It was the first one. The second one was showing me how to cover up my abilities again. And then this third experience is me just explaining how, even though my abilities were turned off, I turned them off myself. How when I turned them off, I had to go through everything so that I could be brought back up on the uprise. So, first one was to scare me into not using them. Second one was to show me how to block out that energy and block out what I wanted to do, because I did certain substances to block my energy and block my mind to what I knew was true. Because I was ready for it, but I was not ready to understand it. But I kept moving forward, knowing what my spirituality was, to a scene. Moving forward, once I got out of that relationship, I moved in with my friend, Jerica Beck. Probably shouldn't have used her name. So I'm just gonna kind of like bleep that out. Yeah, I will figure that out. I moved in with my friend. I worked with her. I worked with her at UPS, and she was going through a great grievance in her past, and I was going through my own. I had just been broken down from my spirituality. I was broken down from my pedestal. And by me and Jerica kind of coexisting together, um, I lived my life and I got to my higher self kind of took over in my life from there on out, giving me signs, showing me what to do so I could overall come back and have another spiritual awakening. But this time, have a spiritual awakening and understand my gifts. So overall, my experiences, they were scary, yes, but overall, they were meant for me to come back stronger and understand the technology within my body and how to use it in a better way so that I can amplify it to the right way and I can use all my energy, I can take up all my space and not have anything pulling the strings. I'm starting to tell myself every day I am in control of what happens today. Nothing else can control what happens to me. The only thing I allow inside my field is divine love and amplitude and divine light. Any light. Divine light only, though. The light from source. That is what I ask for to be brought into my consciousness so that I can understand the world in better ways. I don't know how. I will know how well this helped you guys. I just wanted you guys to know, like, this is my experience. There are probably many other people out there with the same experience. I have not seen posts on YouTube about it, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to share my experience because there are going to be people who watch this. There are going to be people who need this. This is my experience, and as kind of an ending, I wanted to let you guys know, like, I know there are things out there that you guys can do. You can look up on YouTube how to kind of protect yourself and how to fill up all your energy and only allow the energies you want to contact in. You guys always get that choice to only allow those energies in. And if you make the choice to allow them in, that's what will happen. That's kind of what I wanted to share with you today, is you guys make the choice. And I'm here just providing my story because my story is going to help you guys if you guys need the help. So if this did help you, leave a like button. If you don't know how you felt about it, subscribe, see some more of my videos because I have had such great experience and I'm understanding things in a different way, in a different light again. And I would like to share that with you guys. And I know by sharing it with you guys, it'll help amplify the whole entire Earth's realm. And it'll help us go into a 4D dimension altogether. And I don't want to leave anyone behind. Not that we'd be leaving them behind. It's just we can't all ascend unless everyone's ready to ascend. So I just wanted to let you guys know, don't be afraid to use your abilities, because they're there for a reason. They're there for us to use. And there are tools for our life and for vast amounts of knowledge in the time and place that we're supposed to learn them. Don't be scared of what you have. I just want you guys to know my experience and how to protect yourself so that you don't have the same experience as me. Because if you're having the same experience as me, then we're not moving forward. Altogether, we're not moving forward. That's all I wanted to let you guys know. Leave a like button, subscribe, because I'll be back with more content. I love you guys so much, and stay safe, guys. Your spiritual journey is yours. Just stay safe. That's all I ask of you. Love you guys.